He is jumping around like a banshee above us. There's no way. I just want them to go back to school. Hello everyone and welcome to another card video. Today I have some of the new Simon Says Stamp Crafty Hugs release and I'm happy to show you what I have. Simon Says Stamp was nice enough to send me these products so that I could make this video for you. So let's see what they said. So I'm just gonna grab from the box in no particular order. First, I see a nursing or a scrub related type stamp set. It's called Work of the Heart and it has some scrub jackets and a scrub top with wonderful sentiments, great looking fonts, and this bear is adorable. This bear is adorable. He is definitely getting colored. Faux show. Next, I see an interactive die called Simple Slider, and wow, that is really kind of handy. That's gonna be interesting. I might actually make an interactive card. If I have to think about it too much, I don't like it. It's not fun. Next, I see a 6x6 cling stamp called Center Cut Hexagon Floral. And it's exactly that. It has a center cut hexagon right here that we can take out. So it's a regular red rubber stamp, but background stamp, but this center portion comes out. So I bet you there's some coordinating sentiments in here that might looking really good with this. And then it just goes right back in like that. That's neat. So this is another 6x6 cling stamp called So Beautiful, and it is a very cute arrangement of florals and a sentiment that says you are so beautiful. Next is a stamp set called Us of Crafty. US of Crafty. US of Crafty. US of Crafty. It took me a minute. And then there's sentiments like for the red, white, and rainbow. It might take me a second, but I'll eventually get it. Maybe. That's adorable. I love this. And there's cute little images here. This is CZ Designs. And then there's a tube of some stuff. I like that. This is fun. I really like that one. The next one is So Far So Good, and it's also by CZ Designs. I love this font that she uses, and this is really good for both card making and scrapbooking. Next are some pre-made sentiments. I absolutely love these pre-stamped, pre-cut, pre-everything sentiments. This makes everything so much easier. And these have condolences and sympathy messages on it. Next is a die that's called You Have My Heart. And it is a very unique font. And it has the shadow as well as the word die, and the word die appears to be connected, which makes it so great. Oh, I love that. So that's going to be fun, and it has a really cute heart in the U. That's cute. Next is Etched Linear Heart, and I guess it's just that. It's etched on one side. It's going to have stripies. Yeah, I said stripies. Oh, it's cute. I like it. It's a cute size. And then it's going to have basically score lines in there, I guess. So that's going to be fun. Next is Etched Swirl Heart, and it's very similar to the Etched Linear Heart, but this one has swirlies. I love the size of these. These are cute. I love that. And it's almost like waves. I want to go to the beach. Next is Etched Dragonfly. So I think it's going to be another scored die. Yay! I can't wait to cut these out and see what they look like. So this, and then this is going to be like the score lines inside of the wings. Oh my goodness. Can you see how blinding that is? I love it. This is a holographic paper. I don't know what it's called, but it is gorgeous. Does it have a name? I don't know. Holographic awesomeness. That's what I'm calling it. Woo! Next is another 6x6 cling stamp called Peony Bouquet. And I don't know anything about flowers, but I love the solid image that you get to play with. These are great for techniques and when you're using mixed media art, which I never hardly ever do that, but these are good for that. I also love these for backgrounds. Solid images like this are great for backgrounds. So that's gonna be fun. Oh, I wonder if I should use it today. Next is extra large thank you, and it is an extra large thank you. Is this CZ Designs? I think I recognize her font. This is cut to an A2 size card front, so that thank you, woo! That's a biggin. I love the way that it's situated because just like it is here on the wires, you could put something down here and it makes a nice little compilation. I don't know what that's called. I know nothing about design. I cut things apart and glue them back together. That is really nice. I love these, and it comes with the shadow. This is Hibiscus Bloom. I love hibiscus because it just looks like a very tropical, warm weather, belongs in a beach drink kind of flower. There's so many ideas. Next is Hexagon Greetings, and this is the die that goes with the Hexagon Greetings stamp set. Yeah, so this is the stamp set and the die that coordinates with it. And I love these, especially this happy birthday. That's gonna look really nice. Oh yeah, see how that shapes it really nicely? I think that's great. Ooh, and this hello, those are gonna be fun. So Hexagon Greetings and Hexagon Greetings die. Next is a stencil, Geo Leaves. Oh, that is nice. Let's take it out so you can actually see it. Ooh, I like that. This background might not be perfect, but it's a very nice geometric leaf shape, and that is going to be fun. Next is Radiant Hearts. Oh yeah, I like things that radiate. I like stencils that radiate, you know? That makes a good background. So these are hearts, and I think those are fun. And I think this is the last thing, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite in the whole box, and it's called Crafty Bunnies. And it's so cute. And there's little bunnies, and they have a cart. They have a cart. So today we are going to make a card with these Crafty Bunnies, and I think they should have a cart. So let's see what we make. So I'm using Arch's hot pressed watercolor paper. I've never used their cold pressed, just the hot pressed. It's very smooth. And I don't use a lot of water, so it works for me. I'm using Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink to ink up my images today and stamp them on the hot pressed watercolor paper. I've also taped a piece of Ranger watercolor paper. These two watercolor papers are what I've been using recently, and I've been loving them both. This is more on the rough side. I like to do ink blending. This is a Ranger ink blending tool and Distress Oxide ink in pumice stone. I'm just ink blending on a little bit of carpet. These are a little carpet area for my bunnies to live on or to craft on. And then I'm also doing a wall, right? I'm trying to create a background for them or an environment or a scene. And I'm also ink blending with, I think that's antique linen. I'm going to take that geometric leaf stencil and make some wallpaper. So I'm using Thermoweb's purple tape to tape it down and just ink blend with the same exact color, just make it darker in those areas where the geo leaf is to make a little bit of patterned wallpaper. I think it looks super cute. I use snot tape to mask off when I'm using a straight line like that. That's what that is. Once I remove that snot tape, I'm going to go around the edges and kind of darken the edges just so that it's not so stark and it has a little bit of contrast from the edges into the center. I'm using Derwent Inktense pencils to color my bunnies today. I am not a coloring expert. I am just a crafter. I love to show you guys how I make my cards and participate in this community I love so much, but I am by no means a professional colorist. If I end up teaching you guys something, that is just a bonus. So I'm taking my Derwent Inktense pencils and lightly, and I mean lightly, going around the darkest area of my images. And then I'm taking a blender pen. I have this one from Stampin' Up, and I also love the Tombow blender pen. They're both very similar, and I love them both. And I'm just using it to draw the color out from the edges. I used a very sparing amount of pencil on this image, and you see how dark it made it. So these pencils are intense, or Inktense. They're Inktense. I have been trying to add a little bit more details to my images, or trying to color in some details on the images, like cheeks, or maybe a little bit of fat rolls, or a little bit rolls in their clothes, or something like that. I've been trying to step out of my box and try to get myself to color in that way. So that's why maybe the last couple of projects that I've made recently have been a little bit more chubby in the cheek area. Because I've been trying to learn how to manipulate the image to get those types of effects from your coloring. One of the things I love so much about these Inktense pencils is I can layer. And because I'm not using real water, I can layer a lot, because it's not a lot of water, and I'm using watercolor paper anyway. But I can also add just straight pencil and not dilute it with the water, which gives a little bit different look. I love the look of pencil. It's one of my favorite artistic mediums. And this, the Derwent Inktense pencil, I think gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you intense color pigment with a pencil, and it's just a lot of fun for me to play with, and maybe you should try it too. Once all of my images are colored up, I used my Brother Scan and Cut to cut the images out. I hate fussy cutting, you guys. And sometimes the Brother Scan and Cut doesn't do a perfect job, but it does an okay job. I do not have the dies. I love the coordinating dies for images. They're my favorite, but when I don't have access to them, this is the next best thing, I think, because I really hate fussy cutting. I did have to go back in and kind of repair some of the areas where the brother didn't see, or maybe there was a discoloration in the paper that it did see. I don't know, but I had to fix it up a little bit. I'm going to take that sweet little wallpaper background that we made earlier and load it into my mini Misty. For the sentiment on this card, I absolutely love the big, scripty, crafty friends are the best, but it's not going to fit on this card. So I'm using another sentiment down at the bottom, and I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. This is a great black pigment ink to use for sentiments, especially when I'm stamping on watercolor paper that has a texture. So You Color My World was stamped in the lower right-hand corner. I actually only had to stamp it one time. I was actually super proud of myself. Nobody needs to see me adhere all of these things to my card, but I did use a little bit of white craft foam and some tear tape adhesive to pop up the first panel, and then I used foam tape and liquid adhesive to adhere my images. The shelf on the top was adhered flat, and then I popped up a lot of the images that were in the lower section of the card. I absolutely adore this stamp set, and I plan to keep this one around for a long time because of its crafty versatility. I absolutely love the way this card turned out, and I cannot wait to send it to a crafty friend. If you would like to check out more from Simon Says Stamp, follow the links below. Until next time. Find me or Simon Says Stamp on social media. Search hashtag SSSCraftyHugs for more on this fabulous release.